Greetings viewers, Eric the Car Guy here, also known as ETCG1 on this here channel. Why? You tell me why. Because I've got the hat. Anyway, on ETCG1 we like to talk about stuff. We don't do repair videos, but if you're in the mood for repair videos, I'm going to post a link in the description to my Eric the Car Guy channel. You can click on that and go watch all the repair videos you like, because that's where I post those. But here on ETCG1 we talk about stuff. So if you want to stick around and join in on the conversation, you're more than welcome to do so. Today's topic, little dogs. Now, what do I mean by little dogs? This may or may not be automotive related. I speak of this mainly because as far as auto repair goes, whether it's DIY, whether it's professional, whatever, I've been pretty much around it my entire life. And I can say that there's a whole lot of ego floating around in the repair world, both professional and non-professional. And as a result, you do find yourself in a position to where you're, well, having to deal with people with tremendous ego. Or you yourself might have a tremendous ego. You know, no big deal, that's who you are. I'm not gonna fault you for it. But I call it little dogs. And what I mean by that is, you ever notice how smaller dogs are the ones that bark the most? And I'm not against little dogs at all. In fact, it's a little known fact that I used to travel around videotaping dog shows for a while before I became Eric the Car Guy. So that was rather interesting. So through osmosis, I got to know dogs pretty well. But I do know that the little dogs are usually the scrappy, loud ones. And the big dogs, a lot of times, don't normally make a lot of noise. Why? Because they're big dogs. They don't have to make a lot of noise to be noticed. And what I'm getting at here is those people who might have ego issues, or those people who tend to overly assert themselves, I pretty much call them little dogs. Here's an example. Just a week or so ago, I posted a video on the HID fog light installation on this here element that's behind me. Somebody in the comments thought it best to declare that they were a lawyer, number one, and then also state that there was a federal law stating that you cannot modify a vehicle's lighting system in any way, shape, or form, and was going to call the local authorities and send them out to my house to impound my vehicle. Little dog. That's a perfect example. I see them in the comments all the time. They're barking away, talking about this, that, and the other thing, and how much they're an expert on something. I will also throw this into the little dog syndrome. People that make declarative statements, those declarative statements are the thing to watch out for, because it's almost like they're trying to convince themselves. And I guess that's where a lot of this comes from. I'm not sure what exactly starts this type of behavior, but I've called it little dog syndrome. And I've been victim to it myself. There have been times where I've been like, you know, I'm so much bigger and better than you. Well, how dare you insult me in such a way? Or just general stuff like that. And then I go back later and realize what an idiot I was, and, you know, try to move on with the whole situation and forget about it until I mention it, you know, to thousands of people on the internet. But that's neither here nor there. My mistakes are learning opportunities for you. I think you get my point. As far as how to deal with these people, well, that's the thing. I mean, with little dogs, there's not really much you can do, because I don't know if there's a better way to build confidence within them, what have you. Not really sure, but I think the best thing to do is just not to give them ammunition. The more you push back against those little dogs, the louder they bark. They might even nip at you. They might even bite you. And then you end up with a whole big mess. But little dogs are prevalent everywhere, not just in the repair profession, but as I stated, there's a lot of ego that gravitates towards repair of any sort. I think a lot of you IT people out there watch my show, and you know, you comment in the comments about how IT is so similar to auto repair. Well, there's a lot of professions that seem to be that way, and that, you know, you get somebody who thinks they knows it all, and they're not always easy to deal with. But that's what they're doing. They're just barking. Just let them bark. You know, let them think what they want to think. The important thing is that you walk away with a repair. And if you walk away with a repair, well, doesn't matter what kind of dog they are. They're just, you know, barking. I know this is kind of a shorter video this time, but they don't have to be long to make a point, but I'm gonna put it back to you. Have you run into little dogs? And if so, how do you deal with those little dogs? How do you deal with those people that incessantly bark all the time and want to make an issue out of just about everything, insist that they're right about everything, and bark all day? Do you swat them away? Do you just let them nip at your heels and just keep going on doing what you're doing? Are you a big dog? Do you not bark a whole lot? Do you not feel the need? And that's the thing about big dogs. Big dogs are big dogs. They don't have to bark. And that's the difference. So if you're around somebody who's making lots and lots of declarative statements and barking loudly about the injustices of the world, then you really got to think of where they're coming from. And I think they're coming from a place that's way down towards the floor. Tell me I'm wrong. Go ahead. That's what the comments are for. That's what this is about. Remember, I started this video off saying this was a discussion, and you are a part of the discussion. I do read the comments. Don't necessarily comment back to all of them, but I do read them. I am paying attention. You do matter. You matter to me, even if you're a little dog. Anyhow, hey, if you have automotive questions, you can find me at ericthecarguy.com, where there's a welcome video to make you aware of all the wonderful things we have at ericthecarguy.com to help you solve automotive issues. In fact, many of the questions that I get can often be solved just with the FAQs that are listed right there on the home page, and they also have a page of their own. Read through those articles, you might just find an answer to something. Other than that, if you want to connect with me socially, I can be found on Google+, Facebook, and Twitter, and I close each of my videos, including these, on ETCG1 with be safe, have fun, and of course, stay dirty. I look forward to your comments. I'll talk to you later.